It is now time for the King Tornado Man Show. The King Tornado Man Show is now on air.
We have with our radar, we're shooting through the back side of the storm, and it's kind of breaking up the radar beam, so we don't have a clean shot right now into the storm, but we can get it from the south here with the radar out of Fort Campbell. So this tornado is over the Dawson Springs area. Really, the velocity data is going to be our best indicator of where this is. So let's
switch to Max 2 to my screen, and you can see that storm track that we have put on there. Moving to the northeast, like we've been telling you, at 45 miles per hour. Take the full screen of that so everybody can kind of see that storm track real close. There you go. So right over Dawson Springs right now, moving northeast, 45 miles per hour. So that puts it into Richland at 10:45, Earlington at 10:50, Madisonville 10:53, and Anton at 11 p.m. Now keep in mind our cone there does get a little wider the farther to the northeast it goes, but we're going to continue to track this minute by minute for you here. But those are the next communities in line that you want to be in your tornado safe place right now. Get there and stay there until this storm has passed. So again, 10:45 Richland, 10:50 Earlington, up into the Madisonville area at 10:53, and then close to Anton at 11 p.m. Wayne.
All right, so we really haven't seen a weakening trend with this so far. It'll be interesting to see what the next scan shows, because the farther northeast it goes, the more likely it's going to maybe weaken a little bit, and the new scan just did come in. You can still got that intense wind blowing towards the radar, so the tornado more than likely is right along I-69 to the northeast of Dawson Springs, and then we'll be moving up north of 69 as you move up into southern Hopkins County. Here's Morton's Gap, here's Earlington, and the tornado is back. Let me bring it into view here. Is about right here. So this is going to be shooting up in this direction and moving up into the Earlington area. As she just showed you, Stacey just showed you the time of arrival here. Something else that might be helpful here. I'm going to zoom back here.
And the Weather Service still saying spotter and radar continue to confirm the tornado near Dawson Springs.
Okay, I want to show you our shear product. This might be a pretty good tool when it comes to showing the track of the strongest winds. If it's showing up, yeah, sure enough, there it is. So this is a good snapshot of where this tornado is going. Okay, this is basically a snapshot every 5 minutes of where the rotation is. So bam, bam, bam. Now it would be in Dawson Springs. It lags the radar a little bit, but you can clearly see the path that this storm is taking. And if you just extend that line, it's going to continue. Let's just push it here a little bit more. Actually, let me pull back a little bit. I really want to make sure we have a pretty good feel for where this is going. There's Madisonville. Okay, there's the path it's taking. You just extend that to the northeast, right through Dawson Springs. Then it shoots up close to Madisonville. Earlington, certainly a better chance maybe, but Madisonville, very close call. I mean, the track could be similar to 05. Of course, that one went more this direction. This one's going more this direction, but it looks like Madisonville's going to be a very close call. Better chance in Earlington, but really between Nortonville and Earlington, that's going to be the prime area right there. Again, you just extend that in that direction, and that's where it's going. So that's showing a pretty good, doing a really good job of where the tornado damage has been. So we'll get back to the traditional view. Lots of lightning. It's probably in that notch right there. So it's continuing to advance across Hopkins County, southern Hopkins County, at about 45 miles per hour. So just stay in your tornado safe area, hunker down, and we'll get through this. Probably just to the north of 69, to the northwest of Nortonville. So we'll get back to velocity data here. That's going to do the best job at picking this up. And there it is. The blues right next to the red. And it doesn't matter which product you look at. They are both sticking out like a sore thumb. You remember what we were looking at earlier tonight. Didn't look anything like this. And you got the tornado emergency here within the larger tornado warning, the new space scan coming in.
And we've added to that warning now, too. When you get a second, I can update that.
Okay.
Tornado warning now goes for northern Muhlenberg County, also McLean County, and northeastern Hopkins County, and those are going to go until 11:30. So they're giving you plenty of time, and they are continuing this tornado warning. Same strong language. They have not backed off of it at all. A confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado located over Dawson Springs. We've been showing you that. They've slowed it down a little bit, though, and that has been the case over the past few warnings, now saying moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Still a particularly dangerous situation. So if you are in these areas that we are talking about, you want to be taking cover now, getting to your safe spot and staying there. This is a damaging tornado. It's been on the ground for a long time. It's had a history of producing some very significant to even catastrophic damage. So Wayne, now we have that tornado warning going until 11:30 for northern Muhlenberg, McLean County, and then northeastern Hopkins County.
All right, no surprise there, and we're going to continue to focus in on the velocity information here, because that clearly shows what's going on here with the tornado wrapped up right here, and that's now just along and north of I-69, and that's going to be moving up really close to Earlington. So I would say just south of Earlington might be the most favored area. I mean, this is going to be a very distinct path of damage. That you're either going to get it or you're not, and it looks like it's going to be a very close call for Earlington. Madisonville, it may very well shoot just to your south in Madisonville, but I'd still be in the basement in Madisonville, certainly. Nortonville, it looks like you're going to go to your north. So really, it's that area between Earlington and Morton's Gap, that area right there that is of the highest concern. And I'm going to continue to just zoom in a little tighter here to bring in all the communities, but that's your tornado. It's going to cross 112. There's Earlington up there to the north. And it looks like it's just north of 69. There's St. Charles. There's I-69. There's Morton's Gap. Got 69 going north, and there's Earlington. There's the tornado. It's going to come like this, and it looks like it's going to go into a fairly rural area there, right between Morton's Gap and Earlington. The new update just came in, and this thing is still wrapping up in that area. Let me go take a quick look here at the two velocity products, because it looks like we're folding over some here. So don't let the blue distract you here. That could be a combination of they're running out of colors on the red scale and they're going over to blue. So right here looks to be the tornado crossing 112, Kentucky 112, to right between 69 to the south, Earlington, and Kentucky 70 up here to the north. So game on now for the Earlington area, and especially those areas between Earlington to the north and Morton's Gap to the south. That corridor there looks to be the most favored area for what looks like a major tornado. We're talking EF3 or stronger, has a history of producing catastrophic damage. It's a tornado emergency for this part of Hopkins County. This is a situation you don't want to mess around with. This is one you stop whatever you're doing. We've given you a heads up the past couple of hours. This was on the way. And now is the time to be in your tornado safe area. And that is a basement if you have one. If not, lowest floor of your home. Get in the middle of your home. Put as many walls between you and the wind as possible. Get underneath a heavy piece of furniture. Flip a sofa over, a mattress. Throw a blanket over. Helmets, bicycle, football, motorcycle helmets, something on your feet. A flashlight to be prepared and just hunker down until this passes on through, because it looks like a major tornado that's going to be passing very close to Earlington, perhaps right between Earlington and Morton's Gap, and a close call for the Madisonville area also. There's Grapevine, there's Oriole, and there's your tornado right back here. So we're waiting on the next scan to update here. Here's reflectivity. So it's probably right in that area there. Going back to velocity, that's a correlation coefficient right there. That's your correlation coefficient indicating maybe debris in the air. And that's going to, again, I think your best area might be right there between Earlington and Morton's Gap. In Earlington and Morton's Gap, you got to be in a safe place right now. You have to be. And here comes the new scan right there. And this is, we're looking at something we don't normally look at, correlation coefficient. It kind of shows lofted debris, that this thing is producing some damage, and it's about to cross Highway 41 between Earlington and Morton's Gap. Let's get back to velocity here. That hasn't updated yet. We saw the correlation coefficient update first, so right there, and it's going to come in here very close to Arlington. It's looking a little better for Madisonville, but you stay in your basement in Madisonville. We're not letting our guard down here because right now a dangerous tornado that looks to be passing just south of Madisonville, and that might be the new update right there. Still, well, honestly, the couplet obviously still very strong, maybe a little less than it was when it was back in southwestern Kentucky, but it's certainly significant, and it is coming in. There's Madisonville to the north. There's Arlington, Grapevine, Morton's Gap. Best indication is that it's right there, coming in across 112, and then is going to shoot very close to Arlington, very close to Morton's Gap. A close call for both of these. I think there's going to be a swath of damage in here somewhere. Could be right over Arlington. Keep in mind the radar beam is up at a few thousand feet, so the rotation here doesn't necessarily translate vertically straight on down. And it looks like they just extended probably a new tornado emergency there, continuing up into the rest of Hopkins County. But this product right here is doing a good job at identifying where some debris may be in the air. You see that return right there. So again, it looks like Arlington to Morton's Gap, high risk of damage here. A little farther to the north, Madisonville, a risk. You stay in your basement, be in your basement south of Morton's Gap. But this is the area we're really concentrating on right now, is right between Arlington and the Morton's Gap area as this strong tornado continues to move through the area. Reflectivity, the notch is probably right there. That could be the tornado right there. And Madisonville is to the north. So again, it's looking a little better for Madisonville, but a close call for Arlington. And if we're lucky, maybe it goes through the rural areas right between Arlington and Morton's Gap. But this is going to produce some damage. It's just a question of how much and who's going to get hit here. And then it's going to continue northeastward. Once it crosses 41 and 69, it again gets up into a rural area towards Fees. I believe that's how you pronounce it there, up in eastern Hopkins County. But right now, the tornado is more than likely in that notch right there. New one just came in. And what do you have, Stacey?
Yeah, so they've updated the tornado emergency, like you said. So now it's a tornado emergency for Arlington and Afton, Kentucky. A particularly dangerous situation. They're talking deadly tornado. We can't stress, how significant this is enough. But the tornado warning for west central Muhlenberg County and for southeastern Hopkins County going to go until 11:15. So again, now we have the tornado emergency for Arlington and Often, I'm not sure.
Anton?
No, Afton, Kentucky.
Well, that sounds like it should be Anton.
Yeah, maybe they have it spelled. Yeah, maybe they have it.
It might be a typo.
It might be a typo in there.
Yeah.
And also, we have the Weather Service out of Louisville has already issued a tornado warning for Ohio County, and that's going to go all the way until 11:45. And they are also calling it a particularly dangerous situation. I was looking on the chat out of Louisville, and this is kind of their wording. The storm getting ready to move into Ohio County, which is the one we have been tracking for you for a while now through Hopkins County, has had a history of extensive damage, causing injuries, causing casualties. So if this holds together, they're saying one of the strongest storms to impact that area in nearly a decade is. So they have gone ahead in Ohio County and issued that tornado warning well in advance of the storm. Like we've been telling you for the past couple of hours, everybody down in these areas need to take your precautions now. So again, Wayne, Weather Service out of Louisville, Paducah, everybody using as strong of wording as they can with this storm.
And I'm sorry to interrupt. Very quickly, talk to storm chaser Chris Conley. Mm-hmm. He is heading to Morton's Gap, but he did see the tornado as he passed through Dawson Springs. Okay. His words, it is a huge tornado, really? A big tornado. So,
yeah, and we have seen it on the ground now for quite some time.
All right.
Thank you, Brad. So again, Chris Conley now, who is our storm chaser, very experienced one, has been down in that area throughout the evening. And earlier, he wasn't, with a couple of those warnings that we had earlier, he wasn't seeing too much. Maybe saw a little rotation here and there, some rotation, but now he has definitely confirmed that he has seen this tornado on the ground and that it is a really big tornado. Wayne?
All right, so let's get back to first warning Doppler. This tornado is probably very close to Arlington right now. It looks like it may have gone a little more on the northern path up towards the Arlington area, maybe just south, but it's very close to Arlington. It looks like it's going to pass just to the south of Madisonville here. So we're continuing to track the velocity data here. This is not what we normally show you, but this is doing the better job, I think, of where the damage is. And this little brightness that you see, this little colorful patch you see in our correlation coefficient product, may be the best indicator of where the tornado is, and that's actually updating a little quicker. It's right along I-69 to the east of Arlington, and so that's going to move up towards Fees, and then you've got Earls over here. So again, Madisonville, you're sitting up here right now. It looks like it's passed very close to Arlington, probably stayed south of Grapevine and Madisonville, and is now going to be shooting up into areas east of Madisonville and eastern Hopkins County. So that product is doing a pretty good job, and it looks like we lost some of the, I got some bad data, it looks like, coming in there with that particular scan. But there's that notch right there. So that's a good indicator, too, of where this tornado more than likely is. So Arlington, obviously, you'll know if you've been hit by this point because it's now past the Arlington area. It looks like it's passing just southeast of Madisonville up towards Fees or Fies next. There's Anton right there where the airport is, or Anton. Sandy's over here, and then you're starting to get into McLean County where you got Millport there. So this tornado now is passing, it came through the Arlington area. We don't know if it was a direct hit for Arlington. It looks like it's passing just south and east of Madisonville. But if you're in Madisonville, you still need to remain in your safe area. And now you have to be in your safe area east of Madisonville, along Kentucky 70. It's going to be crossing 70 to the east of Madisonville here momentarily. And there's no indication that this has weakened considerably at all. It still looks like a significant tornado. It is still a tornado emergency, and we continue to track it here on live first warning Doppler radar, pushing through the heart of Hopkins County here, just to the south and east of Madisonville. This is velocity data. I think we got bad data in here, so we don't have a really good view, but this correlation coefficient here, I think, is doing a pretty nice job of pinpointing where potentially debris has been lofted up into the air. And now the new one has come in, and we're not seeing quite as much of it, maybe a little bit up there. So it looks like the products are now updating a little bit. So we're just going to stay with this frame by frame. But I think this is some bad data that got into here on the latest scan, unfortunately. But it does look like Anton Fees, east of Madisonville, Kentucky 70, that corridor is next in line to experience the tornado. And then it gets up into McLean County. McLean County, Millport, Sandy is over here. I'm sorry, we're talking about northwestern Muhlenberg County, and then McLean County, Sacramento over here. So there's the latest scan that just updated. So yeah, it's going to get into northwestern Muhlenberg County near Millport, kind of ride Kentucky 85, maybe just south of Kentucky 85 as it moves up towards the Sacramento area. So we have Anton right there, Fees, Sacramento, Millport, all communities that are potentially in line to experience this tornado as it continues to move to the northeast. And it looks like the threat for Madisonville is beginning to diminish. Yeah, it looks like Madisonville.
That would have been awesome.
West Kentucky, Mayfield has worked its way steadily to the northeast over the last 90 minutes or so, has now arrived in our area, and still not liking what we're seeing here at all on the velocity scopes near Bremen. That is likely where the tornado would be at this time, right along the McLean, Muhlenberg County line. Here's Sacramento, here's Highway 81, here's Highway 181, and here's the Bremen community. That tornado likely just north of the Bremen community right now along the McLean, Muhlenberg County line. And as you head off to the east-northeast, Stroud would be next in line. Island right here on the top end where that cone has been drawn here within the next few minutes. And it's not going to take very long, Ohio County, before this is upon you. So we're talking Matanzas, we're talking Small House. You've got to be in a tornado-safe space right now.
Yeah, that's right. And again, Island and Stroud, you got like 2 minutes until this will be in your location. This thing moving to the north and east at 55 miles an hour. and it's making its way closer towards the McLean-Muhlenberg, Ohio County location. And this will be making its way into Ohio County probably in the next 10 minutes. So Matanzas, Centertown, get ready. Get in that safe space immediately, get prepared, and have that weather radio on standby. Also,
NTV set.
tuning in if you're listening. But
Pick.
nonetheless, though, all these
Value is set to brighter. Control brightness of the TV. Darker radio button, not dark radio. Normal. Bright. Bright.
Of a very strong tornado.
Yes.
Darker.
Yeah.
Dark radio button.
Wrapping around
In picture settings, TV brightness.
on that.
In TV settings, picture settings, button for a 5.
And that's what we got here, just north of the Bremen community right now, north of Highway 81.
I had to
southeast
adjust
of
the
Sacramento,
picture settings.
right along the McLean-Muhlenberg County line. And okay, there's a new sweep here. This is from debris. That debris ball still very much evident there. That is
I had to
southwest of the
adjust the
Stroud
picture
community,
settings.
heading toward US 431. That is the sign of a strong tornado. And this thing is likely still on the ground as it moves towards Stroud. Here's US 431. Here's Island, southeast of McLean County. We're looking south of Livermore, between Livermore and Central City here, basically. Stroud, you're next in line. And then here's Ohio County already. That's why the Weather Service issued that warning as early as they did, knowing that A, this was moving very quickly, and B, this had a large confirmed tornado with it, this cell, and it's going to head toward Matanzas as well as Oak Grove Church and also toward the Centertown communities in the next little bit. But right now, Stroud is next in line. The tornado crossing over US 431 should be doing so any minute now. And then it will cross over the Green River. We'll take it into Ohio County near the Matanzas community. And it looks like we're getting updated information there on one of the existing tornado warnings. What do we have, Ethan?
Yeah, that's right. It's still a tornado warning observed. The tornado damage threat is considerable, again, for McLean and Muhlenberg counties until 11:30.
Okay.
A confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado near Livermore, or 8 miles north of Central City, moving to the north and east at 55 miles an hour. And the National Weather Service in Louisville has that tornado warning in effect for Ohio County and actually extended it to Grayson County and also into Breckinridge County as well. So extreme northwestern portions
There you go.
of Grayson County. So
Oh,
they're
shut
already
the door.
preparing with
I'm
this
listening to the
extremely
weather thing.
dangerous tornado making its way beelining to the north and east at 55 to 60 miles per hour. Very, very fast moving, large, long-living tornado.
Yeah, two bits of bad news there. One, the fast forward movement of this, and two, the fact that this has been declared large, destructive, and catastrophic by the folks of the National Weather Service. Again, there is where the tornado is, just south of Livermore. Now, in far southeastern McLean County, it is getting ready to cross over into Ohio County as we speak. So here are the ETAs: 1109 for Green River Generating Station, 1112 for Small House, 1127 in Noe Creek, 1135 for Barnett Creek Church, and then 1140 for Dukehurst. That's out here in central Ohio County. These communities north and northwest of Hartford and Beaver Dam, which will be down in this vicinity here. Here's US 231. Here is I-165. So this tornado will likely cross over two major arteries here, 231 and I-165, within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Folks, you don't need to be heading out on the roads here and traveling north down I-165 out of Hartford or out of Beaver Dam in the next little while. You need to be staying put and in a place of shelter right now. Still seeing that debris ball here. We don't see quite the tight or bright colors that we saw a little while ago, but it's still evident there between Livermore and Central City, right near the McLean-Muhlenberg County line, right near the Stroud community over US 431. So there's still evidence here, and strong evidence of that we've got a tornado on the ground that's getting ready to cross out of southeast McLean County and into Ohio County, threatening areas like Matanzas, like Centertown, like Noe Creek. And there is how it looks on reflectivity. You've got blinding downpours. This is going to make it extremely difficult for anybody to see this tornado coming. So got to heed the warnings here in Ohio County and also now northwestern Grayson County. Given the swift movement of this, it's rain wrapped, and that means it will be virtually impossible to detect now here at night. It is going to cross over US 231, I-165, likely within the next 15-20 minutes or so. There's the Kirtley community. That's right near the McLean, Ohio County line, right along the Green River. Green River extends southward like that out of Livermore. Weather Service is saying the tornado was near Livermore. Looks to me to be a little bit south of there, but nonetheless in southeastern McLean County, close to Island, close to Stroud, crossing over now toward Kirtley, and then getting into Ohio County. Ethan, you got some new info?
Yeah, so that tornado warning, they have it all the way up into portions of Breckenridge County.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, if you're looking at the scans, we mentioned with that debris ball, it looked like it was beginning to broaden a little bit. However, it looks like the atmosphere is more favorable for this to strengthen going into Ohio County. So not good
Not
news.
what we want to hear.
Yeah, nothing we don't want to we don't want to hear this, but I'm letting you know because this is the latest from the National Weather Service. And favorable air in Ohio County, also getting towards Breckenridge and Grayson County. So that's why those warnings pushed all the way out that far, in addition to the fact that it is moving very fast and is a very large destructive tornado.
Yes, again, take this threat very seriously, folks, in Ohio County, especially if you live north of Hartford and Beaver Dam. There's a new velocity scan coming in. Again, it may not look quite as impressive here, but keep in mind this whole area is getting a little bit farther away from the radar site near Fort Campbell. Okay, there comes some new sweep data, and still that does look dangerous there. Now over western Ohio County, area of inbound versus outbound, strong rotation as a new velocity sweep came across. I was hopeful there for 1 minute, but I still don't like what I see now. Heading towards Centertown, heading right along Highway 85. The area of rotation now in western Ohio County. This is going to head toward Hartford. It is going to head toward Highway 136, the confluence there with US 231. Here's 231, this line right here. Here is I-165 as you go north of Hartford toward Washington Church. Here are the communities, places being impacted. You have Mill Creek at 1119, Hartford 1123. That's the county seat of Ohio County. Then you have Beaver Dam at 1126. That's just south of Hartford. And then you have Dukehurst. We mentioned earlier, Dukehurst at about 1130 this evening. Keep in mind, rapid movement means it's going to be upon you there, Dukehurst, within the next 17 minutes. You've got that much time to prepare yourself. Get you and your family into a safe place, be it a basement, be it an interior room, a hallway, a closet, as many walls between you and that tornado as you can possibly find. This has been confirmed. This has been a large, destructive tornado. It has tracked through several counties across western Kentucky. Still is likely to be on the ground as it moves out of Muhlenberg County now into western Ohio County, very close to Centertown, and next in line is going to be Hartford. There's Highway 69, which goes right through the city of Hartford. You've got Highway 136 here as you work your way southeast around the Heflin community, and there is the heavily traveled I-165 that runs from Owensboro to Bowling Green. This tornado is going to track right over 231 and over I-165, and it will do so within the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. We still see debris detection here. It's not quite as pronounced as it was a short time ago, but it's still there. It's over western Ohio County right now, and that tells us that this tornado has been on the ground throughout Hopkins County, into Muhlenberg County. Now that debris showing up into western parts of Ohio County as the tornado crosses the Green River, heads towards Centertown. You can still see a lot of lightning, especially for this time of night and this time of year. And that extends out toward the Hartford community right now. But again, our biggest concern is that tornado, and it's going to be a rain-wrapped tornado. Heavy rain here, blinding downpours from Megan, Bell's Run through Heflin, 2-inch rainfall rates per hour. We're not so concerned about flash flood potential tonight, but bottom line is you don't need to be heading out here at all in Ohio County right now. A very dangerous situation. There is the latest velocity scope. Tornado that has worked its way out of Muhlenberg County now, heading toward places like Mill Creek. There's Highway 136 as you work out of Livermore, travel eastward through Mill Creek down toward Hartford. Hartford, you're in the tornado warned area. Please be in a safe spot right now. Sunnydale, not too far away. This is going to be upon you quickly. given the rapid movement to the east-northeast. And then you've got Fordsville. You've also got Dundee in the potential path of this tornado. It's going to cross over 231, as we mentioned, and then I-165 within the next 10 to 15 minutes. That's how rapidly this thing is moving. Here's Beaver Dam, bottom of your screen. Beaver Dam, this likely stays just a little bit to your north. We'll keep an eye on it for you. And there is the area that surrounds that tornado right now, filled with a lot of lightning, the most we've seen from any supercell so far tonight. And this has been a long-lived, long-track supercell, the kind that we don't see very often in South Central Kentucky. And we don't see debris balls, the type that we saw just a few moments ago on that debris detection, like we saw that was going through southernmost McLean County, northern Muhlenberg County. That's as pronounced as we've ever seen here in quite some time. So that's very worrisome indeed. We have to assume this tornado is still on the ground as it heads toward the Noe Creek community right now, as well as US 231, I-165. Again, here is Beaver Dam. You've got Hartford in the scene here. Storm moving to the east-northeast at speeds anywhere from 50 to 60 miles an hour as it heads away now from Muhlenberg County. That's how quickly this thing has been rolling to the east-northeast, and also is moving away from Livermore. So places like Livermore down towards Stroud and even down towards Central City. I think you're off the hook now as far as large tornado threat is concerned. It's now over Ohio County, in which that tornado is likely to be between Small House and Noe Creek. That's the area of concern right now. We're seeing that brightest red, and this will eventually head out toward Sunnydale along Highway 69, toward Dundee. Fordsville, we mentioned Fordsville, I know, a number of times tonight. These storms have been rolling over some of the same counties, same communities. We've had tornado warnings now. I think this is the fourth one tonight for Ohio County, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're correct.
Third
Yeah.
for the northern half of the county. Unbelievable. But that's the way things have been going so far tonight. The best energy, best dynamics to this point, still off to the north and west of Bowling Green, where the air is more unstable. The air is certainly juiced up. We mentioned during the newscast an hour ago, dew points are running in the mid-60s tonight. That's almost unheard of for December around here. You get that combined with the fact that you got a low-level jet about 5,000 feet off the ground, screaming right along with winds of 70-plus miles an hour, and you've got the makings of a severe weather outbreak. And indeed, that's what we've got tonight. Again, this storm over Ohio County has had a history of producing a large, destructive tornado. Had the tag catastrophic with it by the National Weather Service in Paducah a short time ago. Ethan, what's the latest?
All right, to let you catch your breath for a moment, looking behind where this tornado moved through, there are some power outages. Excuse me. The first one in Hopkins County. Over 1,500 people are without power in Hopkins County, so that's a good indication that there has been some strong damaging winds that have knocked down power lines. Looking over in Muhlenberg County, currently over 2,200 people are without power for tonight over in Muhlenberg County. Looking into Ohio County, it looks like the K Energy Corporation, people who have that as a provider, 1,400 people without power in Ohio County, and that happened all at once. So either a strong wind knocked a major transformer, or perhaps this large tornado knocked that out. And this scan, not as well defined as previous scans, but still a lot of bright red and dark red. Very good indicators of this rotation, very strong rotation. In fact, you notice a little white dot. That is where data is missing. That's how strong some of these winds.
Suggestions, row, were recommended for you. Row, weather forecasting, row.
Heading this direction, and it is moving very, very fast as well, moving to the north and east at 60 miles per hour. Taking a look at the latest when it comes to the debris signature. It's still very present over in Centertown. In fact, you see it's very well defined to the north of Centertown. And I'm going to take a look now and see if we got any other reports at this point from the National Weather Service. And yeah, Ohio County, over 1,500 power outages happened very suddenly. And the latest from the National Weather Service in Louisville, considerable tornado damage threat for, again, Ohio County, Breckinridge County, Grayson County, and then just to our north in Hancock County, outside the WBKO viewing area. A confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado moving to the north and east at 60 miles per hour. So you see that flash there. I'm going to take it back to velocity. All you can see the rotation of this storm. And you see that flash there. Northern portions of Grayson County, so where Heights Falls is. I'm going to name off a few locations surrounding where this flashing is. McCoy, Van Zandt, Glendine, Tar Fork, Kirk, Westview, Cave Spring. All of you need to take cover now because this has been a long-living, extremely dangerous tornado, which is now over No Creek, heading towards Sunnydale, heading towards Taffy and Jingo. They actually just updated this tornado warning. I'm going to go ahead and read that off for you. It is observed. It is considerable tornado damage, moving over Hartford, moving to the east at 60 miles per hour. So, as Shane mentioned earlier, it's beginning to make more of an eastward track. So, that is one thing to be of concern with this warning. But still, nonetheless, though, moving a very, very fast rate at 60 miles per hour. And taking a look again at that debris ball, again over No Creek. Actually, to the south of No Creek, it looks like, according to our radar here, Maxstorm HD. But again, very dangerous situation. If you're in this warning, whether it's in Ohio, Grayson, Breckenridge counties, go to your safe space. There's no reason to be outside in this case. Go to that lowest level of your building, whether it's a basement. If you're on a building that does not have a basement, a bathroom, a great idea. Also, the stairwell, a closet, or the center of your home. The biggest thing is you want to be away from those windows. You also want to cover your head because, again, this is a large, extremely dangerous tornado that has the history of producing catastrophic damage and has been a long-living tornado that started well off to our south and west towards the Kentucky, Arkansas, and Illinois state line. That's how far it's been. It's been making its way, pounding its way through Kentucky over the last few hours at this point, Shane.
Yeah, large confirmed tornado out of this one. Cannot emphasize enough the importance of being in that tornado safe space. As Ethan just mentioned, if you live anywhere here in the path of it, in Ohio County, in places like Sunnydale, places like Oleton, and also Shreve up in the far northeastern corner of Ohio County, this is eventually going to affect the northwestern corner of Grayson County. Here's Highway 878. And also the Falls of Rough area, and getting up here into Breckenridge County, there's Van Zandt, there's Forestville, all these areas in the tornado warn sector right now, in that polygon. And there is the area of concern. It's right over US 231. Latest report for the National Weather Service. Tornado confirmed on the ground near Hartford, likely just north of there. That's going to cross over I-165. Here's 165. And I suspect with the next velocity scan that should arrive here in the next couple of minutes, it will likely be over, if not a little bit to the east of I-165. So if you live in Dukehurst, you've got to be in a place of safety right now. There's that debris ball, still very evident. It has not gone away, folks. It is right over I-165 right now, just a little bit to the east of there, where the strongest detection is located now, east of the No Creek community and also east of US 231. So we've got to assume that this tornado is on the ground, very close to, if not right over, I-165 at the moment, just to the north of Hartford. If you live in Hartford, you still need to be in a place of safety, as this is very dangerously close to you, especially on the north side of the city as you travel up 231 and up I-165. And then out here toward I-69, you see where that debris ball is headed. It's headed that way, so that's a sure sign that the tornado itself is right behind it and heading in your direction there, and will likely arrive in, if not very close to the Dukehurst community within the next few minutes. Remember, this is moving rapidly to the east, northeast, and if anything, trying to turn a little bit more to the right, like we talked about a little while ago, as some strong tornadoes do. They do what we call more of a right-hand turn with time, which is also something we don't like to see. It's a sure sign of a long-track supercell with a long-lived tornado. And that's what we have right now. We're central Ohio County. It's approaching Highway 69. Here is Jingo. Here is Sunnydale. There is that area of debris being lofted from the ground by that tornado now, likely just a little bit north of the city of Hartford. Ethan, you have a report?
Not a report here right now, but I just want to mention this just to let you know how extremely dangerous this tornado has been. As I mentioned earlier, it moved through Mayfield, Kentucky, which is to the west of the WBKO viewing area. Just a report that came in from Mayfield, the courthouse was destroyed.
Oh my goodness.
So this is why we're taking such extreme precautions with this. Not to mention, this is a confirmed large tornado. And chatting with the National Weather Service in Louisville, it looks like there are no signs of weakening anytime soon as this makes its way to the north and east. So again, if you are in northwestern Grayson County and southern Breckenridge County, you want to be extremely dangerous tornado. I'm gonna look really quick to see
Suggestions.
if there are any other reports at this point.
Row, recommended for you. Row, weather forecasting. Row.
New velocity data in. There is that debris ball, still very evident. It's now northeast of Hartford, and that would be right over Highway 69. This is 69 here running northeast of Hartford. So the tornado would likely be right after where that debris ball is. So now northeast of Hartford is where that tornado is likely to be located, by no more than just 2 or 3 miles between Hartford and Sunnydale at this point. And there it is on velocity. Here is our area of concern right now. Notice that white little pixelation there. Also not a good sign there between Sunnydale and Hartford. That's a sign of strong rotation. This area heading towards Sulphur Springs. Here's the Narrows community. It's going to be in Sulphur Springs, that tornado, which has been observed, which has been confirmed at 11:28. Within the next minute or two, that's how quickly this is moving. The Narrows at 11:34, Olayton at 11:39, Shreve at 11:46, and then Van Zant at 11:52. And that's getting out here into the northwestern corner of Grayson County. Here's Grayson County on the far right-hand side of your screen. Here's Breckenridge County on the upper right of your screen. It's going to be into the Falls of Rough area and likely heading toward Rough River Dam. If you live around Rough River Dam and you've not already sought shelter, please, we urge you to do so. This is a dangerous situation, a long track tornado here with a history of producing major damage heading now through Ohio County. There is the debris ball associated with that now between Hartford and Sunnydale. Just a little bit south of Sunnydale. A sign that we've had a tornado on the ground with this one. We still do. And now heading between Sunnydale and Jingo, and this will head toward the Narrows community. There's still a lot of lightning associated with this storm across central and northern parts of Ohio County, illuminating the skies here, maybe illuminating the base of that storm cloud to where a trained storm spotter could see it. But I beg of you, do not go out and chase this thing, folks. This is way too dangerous. Rain is wrapping this tornado right now. You're not going to be able to see it anyway. So stay put. Stay in your tornado safe space. If you live in northern Ohio County, in Sunnydale, Dundee, you're still the tornado warning. Fordsville, you're still the tornado warning. Then out here into northwestern Grayson County, northwestern sliver of the county out toward Highway 79 in the tornado warned area. And it looks like we're getting some new information here with this tornado warning in Ohio County, Ethan.
Yeah, that's right. Weather Service in Louisville, continue the tornado warning. It's observed. Considerable damage threat likely. Large, extremely dangerous tornado located 8 miles northeast of Hartford, moving to the north and east at 60 miles per hour. So pretty much the same messaging we've been saying for the last 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, so there's a new velocity scan for you. So that tornado very close to, if not right over, the community of Sunnydale right now. There's a lot of lightning situated around that rotation center. Now, you don't see as much green against the red as you did earlier, but remember, this is farther away from the radar site, which is coming at us from out of Fort Campbell. We know, and we know from the National Weather Service too, that strong rotation is still there. Debris ball, it's still there.
It's actually getting worse
a little
too.
bit more impressive than it did a short time ago, and it's just south of Sunnydale in central Ohio County right now. That's where the tornado would be. And then looking farther downstream, Shreve, you are likely next in line for this. And then we talked about Rockvale, Falls of Rough up here. As you head toward Rough River Lake, here is Rough River Lake now showing up on the right-hand side of your screen. So this tornado could come very close to the Rough River Dam, if not go right over it within the next half hour or so. The official movement has it east-northeast. Again, sometimes we see these work their way a little bit more due east, especially these strong tornadoes like the one we have here in Ohio County. It's very close to, if not right over Sunnydale right now. Also Highway 69, Dundee, please be in your basement or the lowest level of your home right now. That's between Sunnydale and Fordsville. Also, if you live in Narrows, please be in your home's lowest level right now. Dangerous situation here with an observed tornado, and that as mentioned, we'll be tracking into far northwestern Grayson County. Here's Hickory Corner coming into view. Here's Highway 736. And then here's Van Zandt, that community over in the southwestern corner of Breckenridge County. I saw another polygon flash there. Ethan, is that a new update from the Weather Service?
Basically, the same thing we've been echoing is that it's a confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado. It's a particularly dangerous situation, by the way. This is a very large tornado moving to the north and east at 60 miles per hour, heading towards Grayson and Breckenridge counties. And you can see that flash there, including Hickory Corner, also Shreve, Van Zandt, Axtell, McCoy, Kirk. These locations, you need to be in your safe space now. There's no excuse at this point. You need to be in that lowest level of your building, whether it's the basement, whether it's a bathroom,
I really heard it. It's on how to spread it.
A stairwell, a closet, anything you can do that's away from windows. That's the best thing you can do at this point with this confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado making its way to the north and east. And as Shane has mentioned, this is rain wrapped and very hard to see. So do not even try to tree detection. Notice that bright
Suggestions, bro. More recommended for you, bro. Weather forecasting, bro.
To the north and east, very, very fast. And again, it's rain wrapped. Taking a look now at reflectivity. This is radar of what we show every day. A lot of heavy rain associated with this storm. A lot of lightning too. So it's probably a lot of thunder with that too. So hopefully you're able to be as calm and collective as possible with all of this situation going on. And that's the best thing you can do in these situations, Shane, is being calm and being collective with all this going on. Right. We're telling you this with urgency because we've seen the photos and the reports coming out of this, so it's very concerning with us. But as long as you're in your safe space and as long as you're away from windows, that is the best thing you can do. And just know that if we're doing that with being a calm demeanor, that is the best thing you can do right now.
Exactly. We've been stressing throughout the day the importance of having a plan of action, knowing exactly where you're going to go and what you're going to do in the event of a tornado warning, much less an observed tornado like what we've got right now in Ohio County, whether that's a basement or home's lowest level. Ethan, you got an update?
Yes. In addition to the fact this is bringing in strong winds, the damaging tornado, we're also dealing with a lot of power outages. I'm going to go ahead and name off a few counties that have been impacted by this particular tornado. Over in Hopkins County, currently almost 6,500 customers without power. In McLean County, almost over 1,300 customers are without power. Muhlenberg County, over 2,200 people without power. Ohio County, over 3,500 customers are without power. So this is telling us that this tornado breaking power lines, creating those loss of power. So that's why we told you earlier today to have those phones charged and have the batteries in that NOAA weather radio, because this is what we were afraid of, and it is indeed happening at this moment. But again, this is a confirmed large, dangerous tornado moving off to the north and east very, very fast at 60 miles per hour. Take a look at the latest when it comes to that debris ball we've been tracking all evening, and radar's having a hard time loading and refreshing. I'm going to go ahead and take a look now and see if we can get Louisville's radar to cooperate with us. Okay, no, it just updated. Good. It has just updated, and that debris ball still very prominent, very eerie, and it's towards the Narrows and Oleton locations in northeastern Ohio County, making its way towards the Tri-County area of Grayson, southern Breckenridge, and northeastern Ohio County, going towards Shreve. If you're in Shreve right now, you want to take immediate cover right now. And also, too, we are dealing with the very, very strong rotation. And I'll take a look now at velocity and see any updates with that. And again, this is a large, dangerous tornado making its way to the north and east. Notice the bright reds and dark reds towards Fordsville. Narrows right now getting hammered by this very strong, dangerous tornado making its way to the north and east towards Van Zandt. Hickory Corner, Shreve, moving to the north and east, again towards northwestern Grayson County and to southern Breckenridge County. Again, this is a very, very fast-moving tornado, a very large tornado as well. And I'm looking for any updates with regards to reports. I'm not seeing anything yet other than what we've been telling you so far. This is a confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado. Haven't seen any photos yet from anything in Ohio County, but at this point, we do not care about that. The biggest thing is making sure that you are safe in that safe space, waiting until this tornado passes, and hopefully we are not seeing any injury reports, but we do not have any confirmation of anything in that regard right now. Right now, though, we are tracking this rotation, again, moving into the Tri-County area of Ohio, Grayson, and Breckenridge counties. Shane?
You're right, Ethan. In a lot of cases, especially with these overnight events, we don't know the extent of the damage until sunup the next day, and that could be the case out of what we're dealing with tonight. Having said that, this has been tracking over several counties, so I would not be surprised if we start to see some photographic evidence of damage that has occurred from this supercell thunderstorm, as it has traversed now several counties across western Kentucky over the last couple of hours, originating from down in Graves County. Report of the courthouse in Mayfield actually destroyed tonight by this tornado, a long track one, as it has now arrived in northeastern Ohio County between Narrows and Fordsville, the area of concern right now, beginning to move away from Highway 69. Here is Breckenridge County. Here's the Van Zandt community. Here's Hickory Corner. That's in the northwestern side of Grayson County. Here's the Short Creek community. Litchfield, this is going to stay to your northwest. You're not in the Warren Polygon area in Litchfield. This is away from you. But Rough River Lake, you are in the warned area. And you can see that this tornado is going to get ready to move out of Ohio County and head toward Falls Rough very shortly. Ethan, you got an update?
Yes, we have another tornado warning. This one's not quite as large as this one, but nonetheless, though, we are going to cover it because it is in the WBKO viewing area. This is in northern portions of McLean County. So if you're northern portions just to the north of Calhoun, you see that rotation there. That is radar indicated tornado warning. This is going to be for northern McLean County, extreme northern McLean County. Just want to bring this up really quick for folks who might be up in that location.
Okay, we don't really have much viewership up there north and northwest of Calhoun. But nonetheless, again, for those of you up in McLean County, the area northwest of Calhoun, that's a tornado warning. That would include the Beech Grove and Elby area of McLean County. Going to focus back once again on northeast Ohio County. Still seeing a debris ball there. This is now east of Narrows, south of Fordsville. Still under a tornado warning right now. Still have to assume that there's a tornado, and perhaps a large one, on the ground heading toward Highway 54. The Shreve community is on the northeastern corner of Ohio County. That's right there. And then we've got Hickory Corner. Here is Rough River Lake now coming more into view. So this tornado could pass right over Rough River Lake if it holds together in the next half hour or so. Here's Indian Valley on the south side of the shores of Rough River Lake. Here's Short Creek. The tornado warned area basically runs from Indian Valley and heads on down toward Highway 54. The area of concern right here now basically between Fordsville and Shreve, that tornado, and it has been large, it has been observed, destructive, and now heading into the southwestmost section of Breckenridge County, which is up here, top of your screen. There's the Van Zandt community. Here's Highway 110. If you live anywhere along Highway 110, please be in the home's lowest level right now. Same goes if you live around Hickory Corner and in the Shreve community. This is going to be bearing down on Shreve basically any moment now, and I think with the next velocity sweep that comes across, this will likely be crossing out of Ohio County and into the southwestern corner of Breckenridge County, near Van Zandt, between there and also Hickory Corner. Now, as we adjust the view, there's Rockvale coming into view. You got Highway 261 that goes out of Breckenridge County, Hancock County, corner of it there, and then down toward the Fordsville area. You live along that highway, need to be in a safe spot right now. Here's Grayson County bottom of your screen. Here's Rough River Lake. This tornado could potentially move right over Rough River Dam and right over Rough River Lake, given its trajectory over the next half hour or so. There's still a lot of lightning cluster in this vicinity. In the area of Kirk, Hardensburg will be at the top of the screen. That's up there in the central part of Breckenridge County. This is all happening to the north of Litchfield. Litchfield, this is not for you, this tornado warning in Grayson County. It's the northwestern part of the county along Highway 79, Highway 54, this area right here now. And there we go, new sweep coming across. So that's taking the tornado out of northeastmost Ohio County and into southwesternmost Breckenridge County. Again, here's Rockvale, here's Shreve. Tornado very close to Shreve right now. This is the Ohio Breckenridge County line right here, north of Highway 54, and we still have a debris signature right over the Shreve community and now right over the Breckenridge-Ohio County line. This thing has been long-lived, folks. This is the first time in a long time that I've seen such a long-lived debris signature showing up on our radar scopes here in South Central Kentucky, which of course is not what we want to see. And this is now rolling into southwestern Breckenridge County. Significant damage likely out of this tornado, which has been working its way through our northwestern counties, through Hopkins,